Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Sui. Today I'll show you how to make beaded mini bags, or you can make them regular size by using the same way. In this video I'll be making this one because it is my favorite. I mean, look how shiny it is. Let's take a closer look at this bag. If you watched my previous video, I'm sure you can tell that this bag, except for the handles, is also made of 4 bead circles. We'll start by making the bottom part of it. So the bottom part is 2 rows and there are 6 circles on each row. And then we will work our way up to make the body of the bag. So the body of the bag is made of 4 layers and the blue beads are only on the first and second layer. And for this video, I'll use different colors so you can see it better. Here's a list of what you need for this mini bag. And yes, they are green and brown to me. Let's start by adding 4 green beads for the first circle. At the end of each circle, I'll do what I call a go back. A go back is after threading all the beads that you need for a circle, use the same side of the string to go back to the last bead that you added. This way it will form a hoop. You use the other side of the string to go through this hoop, and then you pull the both sides. And because this is the first circle, I will move this circle to the middle part of my fishing line. And then you will see a knot between 2 beads. So now you pull the knot into the bead. This way it will secure your circle so it won't move. Now let's build the second circle based on this one. So I'll add 1 bead to my left hand side and 2 beads to my right hand side, and then I'm gonna do a go back. So for the bottom, we will make 6 circles for each row and we'll make 2 rows. So I just finished my 5th circle, and the 6th circle is kind of different because we want the 2 sides of the string to be on the bead on the left hand side, because that's the direction we're going to add the 7th circle. So I'll add 3 beads to my right hand side and then do a go back. Now let's start to build the second row. For the first circle, I will add 3 beads to my right hand side. For the second circle, I will use the left hand side to go through this bead that has been added. And then I'll add 2 green beads to my right hand side. And then we will build the next 3 circles in the same way. So for the last circle of the bottom part, I will use my left hand side to go through an old bead and then add 2 green beads to the seam end. Now the bottom part is done. Let's start to make the body of the bag. Let's have a look at this finished bag. All these beads that's on this line, we are gonna use a different color for those. So for the first circle of the first layer, I will add, and the order matters here, I will add a brown and a green and then another brown. And for the second circle, I will use my left hand side to go through an old bead and my right hand side to thread a green and a brown. And then I will keep repeating this step until I finish this layer. Right now there is only one circle left for the first layer, and there is this green bead missing here on the top. I will let my left hand side to go through 2 old beads, and then I will add 1 green to my right hand side. And the first layer is done. Now again, let's have a look at this finished bag. So for the second layer, this line is a counter change of 2 colors. So for the second layer, I will start by adding 2 green and a brown to my right hand side. So for this layer, I will keep my eyes on the finished part to make sure that the pattern is right. And for the second circle, I will add 2 greens. And then I will repeat this 2 circles for the rest of my second layer. Now there's only 1 circle left on my second layer and it's missing a green. Now the second layer is done, and for the third and fourth layer, we're only gonna use one color. We're only gonna use green. So I'll see you when I finish my third layer because there's something different about the fourth layer. So now my third layer is done, and for the fourth layer, I will not go back for circles on this layer because later on when we do the handles, we might have to use our string to go through beads of the first layer multiple times. we don't want any beads of that layer to be stuffed, so I'll make my life easier by only do a cross. I'll tell you what a cross is. So now I'll add 3 green beads to my right hand side, and then I will use my left hand side to go through the last bead that I added, and then I will pull both sides of my string, and see, you have a circle but it's loose. So for this layer, make sure that you pull your string as tight as possible. And then I will add 2 green beads for every circle of this layer, and I'll see you when I finish the 4th layer. Although for the last circle of the body of the bag, I would do a go back to make sure the bag is sturdy. By the way, after this step, you might want to check all the beads of the last layer to see if they're tight. They don't have to be like super tight, but just make sure they're not loose. Now let's get to the handles. Let's go back to this bag, and the handle of this side is here. Since I want my handle to be between these 2 beads, I'll have to figure out a way to make the 2 sides of my string to come out from those 2 beads. And one of my end happened to be where it's supposed to be. Now I just have to figure out a way for my other side. So I will use the other side to go through these beads. Now I'll add 12 green beads for the handle. And the other side of this handle is supposed to be here. So now I'll use the 2 sides of my string to go through these 2 beads respectively. So now I've finished the handle of one side, and for the other side, it is symmetric to this one, so it should be easy to locate. And now all you have to do is to use your 2 sides of your string to go through some beads here, and then make them come out of those 2 beads. This part is very easy, but it takes forever, so if you don't want to watch this part, check the description box. I will put the timestamp there. Now I can finally start to add 12 green beads for the other handle. Now, as we did before, we're going to use the two ends of the string to go through these two beads respectively. And then I will make these two ends to go through some beads so they can meet. I will let them meet here. Now for the last step, I will tie them together and hide the knot here in this bead. I think it's stuffed, so I used a needle. Right now I am pulling the knot into the bead. And then I will use both ends to go through some beads around them. Now let's cut the extra fishing line. And we're done. Here are all the 4-bead circle mini bags that I made so far. They're of different sizes and with different patterns on them, but they're made the same way. So get creative when making your own mini bag or regular size bag. I hope you find this video helpful, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care.